Call up the devil, let's make up a deal.
Hello.
He want a solo on 500 mil. Yeah.
Hey guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and today we're going to be ranking every attacker from worst to best in Rainbow Six Siege. So just before I get started with today's video, I just want to let you know that this is a community voted base list. So I will say the operator's name and then where they are placed based on what you guys have voted or what my subscribers have voted. And then I'm going to talk a bit about them and then if I agree with it or not. But looking at the list right now, most of it is pretty reasonable, so you lot have wise choices. Just for the first 10, I'm not going to get too in depth with maybe in the last top 10 operators. I will go more in depth just so you know I don't have to talk about a bad operator for 10 minutes. But without rambling on, coming in the 25th spot, because yes, there are 25 defenders. Coming in at the number 25th spot, we have Glaz. Now this is a very reasonable choice. I feel like the nerf that happened to Glaz recently has really brought him down. He can't just, throw in a smoke, be the entry fragger, be the one peeking. He now has to sit back, stand still and have to look for his smoke, which even then, that's not even any good, because you're just gonna have a Warden. Well, not Warden, no one really plays Warden, but I feel like because Warden has come out, it's kind of changed the meta. And I swear recently no one even smoke plants anymore. They just secure site and just plant behind something. Smoke planting isn't really a thing anymore. Not saying it's viable, but Glaz is a no-go. Coming in at the 24th spot, we have Amaru. Now I think this is also reasonable. Although she is a new operator, her gadget is really bad. I think the concept is really cool, how you can kind of rotate and, watch flanks and all that. But I think the fact that it's loud as hell and it takes forever to bring up your weapon after you've swung in, that's what makes it bad. Coming in at the number 23rd spot, we have Gridlock. Now this is also reasonable, but it's not at the same time in my opinion. I think Gridlock is really good in a 5 stack, but most people solo queue, I believe anyway. So hence why Gridlock is probably so low down. But Gridlock is really good in a 5 stack. Use it to cut off rotations, use it because it's so loud and then you can plant and they won't even hear it because the traps will just be going around in a spiral. But yeah, she's good in a 5 stack. Coming in at the 22nd spot, we have Blackbeard. I can also see this, but not at the same time. I feel like kind of in the plat to diamond games, he might be used a bit. I do also see him banned quite a bit on certain maps like Skyscraper, but that's because that's just all window play. I think he's only really good for certain maps and then all the other maps he's just pointless. But in a game where one headshot is really big deal, being able to make it 3 headshots to 2 is really big in the higher ranks. But I can see why Blackbeard is really low down. Coming in the 21st spot, we have Blitz. Also, I forgot to mention, I will show up the percentage of what the amount of people that have voted it and the percentage on the screen. So yeah, 21st is Blitz. I also see this, he has kind of been nerfed with the pistol taking forever to now ADS. That is a big downfall for him, so Blitz is a no-go anymore. The concept, he is still good in terms of his gadget, being able to flash in or flash defenders and just rush in, but he can no longer just run in quickly ADS and just kill 3 people. And coming in at the 20th spot, we have Montaigne, which is the same reason, not being able to quickly ADS. But that's not the main reason people use Montaigne. Montaigne is just to distract the defenders and being able to push in, clear a room. So instead of droning, you can just have a walking bulletproof drone. That's kind of how Montaigne is played, just to push the defenders back. But Montaigne, I don't think he should be this low, but I can kind of see why. But yeah, I'd put him slightly higher, but I can see why he's this low down. And coming in at the 20th, I think 20th or 19th, I'm not sure. I'm going to have the number on the screen anyway, but I'm just going on to the next operator. So coming in the 20th or 19th spot, we have Lion. Lion, I can see why he's a slow down with his nerf. The fact that it lasts for literally 1 second, I feel like it doesn't really make that much of a game changer anyway. It's literally just 1 second. It's not good at all anymore, I don't think. Coming in the next spot, we have Ying. I would have put Ying like near the bottom with Galaz. I hate Ying so much. Her weapons are really weak. Her gadget, it just flashes and blinds teammates, and it's really unpredictable whether the enemies are flashed or not, which is why I hate her. Like, I'll try and flash a window and then fly in, and then they just somehow not flash, and it's just no. And Jaeger counters her anyway, and Jaeger's pick rate is mental. So coming in the next spot we have Knock. This one I can see why people would have selected it as the favourite operator, just because she's really fun to play. But I think her overall, I feel like, I don't know, like, although you are silent, I always feel like they just know you're there somehow. And in high ranked, in diamonds, like in diamond plat matches, most people have barbed wire, like literally on all the stairs, and lesion just everywhere. So I feel like even though Knock, you can be silent, like no doubt you're gonna have to go through barbed wire anyway to get to the enemies. Coming in the next spot we have Fuse. Fuse, I can see why he's this low, although the recent buff has made him really good, but him just being a free armor alone, really slow, really loud footsteps is a big deal. I feel like Jaeger Bandit could just rush him no problem, although his gadget is really good at taking out the stuff on site, but again ADS will probably stop that, so I can see why he's just slowed down. Coming in the next spot we have Finka. Finka, I see why she's up here, but for me personally, although she does give you a boost and everything, I think when you have that adrenaline rush, it's really loud and you can't hear enemy footsteps, so you don't really know what's going on, and you just kind of have to play from what you assume is going to happen. But in terms of just team play, she's really good, and she probably does deserve the spot. Coming in the next spot we have Dokubi. Now Dokubi getting frags has been a big deal, although I think most people still put smokes on anyway, just to get that plant down. I don't know why I started so many times in that sentence, but although frag has probably put her pick rate higher and win rate higher, just being able to you know, call them and then being able to just frag them, that is really big. Coming in the next spot we have Capital. Now this is reasonable, but actually yeah, this is really reasonable spot, just to kind of be in the middle. I think this is kind of the middle, yeah, middle near the top. Capital deserves this spot, being able to just drone out someone like anchors. No, okay, they're in this spot, they can't really rotate or move anywhere, so you're gonna firebolt it, or you smoke it, get the plant down, use the fire to waste time so they can't get to the bomb. And Capital overall is just really good, used in Pro League all the time, and yeah, I think he deserves this spot. Coming in the next spot we have Maverick. Maverick really good. Blowtorch, being able to just open up anywhere pretty much. He's really good solo queue. You can just be like a lone wolf, go around and just Maverick hole everywhere. But the fact that it's really quiet, knowing someone is playing like Boulder, Armory, you know someone's in bunker, like that little corner bit, I call it bunker. Knowing someone's there, and then you can just open up in the office's wall and just look all the way down and they won't even hear it. That's really good. But yeah, Maverick card richer anyway, he's going to be this high up. Coming in the next spot we have Nomad. Now this is really understandable, being able to take control of an entire floor just by putting Nomad charges by the stairs. So if you know that you are playing bottom floor, so think of Consulate, so they're in bank, and you know, okay, they're the Jaeger and Vigil on top floor roaming, you can take control of middle floor. You know they're top floor, so you don't push top floor, take control of middle floor, and then put Nomad charges on the stairs of middle floor, and then just rush site. So when the people on top floor try and come down to the bottom floor, they're just going to get Nomad charged. So Nomad in general really good, this anti-flanking or anti-roam, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, Nomad's really good. She's also just good for rushing on plant and then put it on every door around the bomb. That's also a good method. But yeah, reasonable spot. But coming in the next spot we have IQ. Now I see a lot of IQ players. I feel like IQ is more of one of those people that if you can't play Ash to be aggressive, people just go IQ because she is another free speed with a really good gun. But her gadget alone is really good. Being able to look through the scanner, get Valkyrie cams outside that you can't really see. Echo drones, really big thing. But IQ overall, just I think really good. and she can be really aggressive and is a fragging role just to get those kills mainly. But coming in the next spot, which I think we'll get into like the top 8 or 9, I don't know, but coming in the next spot we have Thatcher. Now this is really reasonable, you know, being that the support player and just being peanut butter and jelly to Thermite, you know, just getting rid of that bandit, just the core thing of this game, getting rid of the bandit to open up a wall, and obviously you couldn't do that without a Thatcher. So I think Thatcher is pretty self-explanatory on why he deserves this spot, and you know, just getting rid of leisure mines and just everything overall I think is really good. Which coming in the next spot is Thermite. So Thermite, Thatcher, you know, they just go together like peanut butter and jelly. You know, Thermite is the core thing of this game, being able to get open walls, or being able to open a wall, which is the main thing you want to do when attacking an objective, and Thermite is the best at doing that, so he definitely deserves to be this high up. Coming in the next spot we have Ash. I can see why Ash would be this high, just the fact on that she is a free speed, you can barely hit her body. The whole meme of, oh, does Ash even have a headbox? Her weapons are really good. Gadget I guess is alright, like just simple breaching charges, but you can shoot them. Really good. Obviously she is probably the best at fragging, so if you're an aggressive fragger, and then Ash is probably the one for you. I'm pretty sure you all know Ash at this point. I'm pretty sure anyone who played any other game knows Ash from Rainbow Six Siege. But yeah, so that's Ash in this spot. Coming in at the next spot we have Jackal, which I think this is, yeah, coming in at the top 6. Jackal is really good if you can even get to play him. That's if he's not banned, which he probably is going to be banned. But please, if he's not banned, play Jackal every single round. Make the most of him. Being able to just completely cut off a roaming, being able to scan the footprints. Even if you've already used 2 scans and it's now a 1v1 situation and you're both on site, you don't really know where he is on site, you can just quickly scan and then that's it. You can easily get that kill. Jackal is just so good in this game, hence why he is banned every game. But yeah, that's pretty much Jackal. Coming in the 5th spot we have Buck. Now this is really reasonable. I think I've said that like at the start of everything, like reasonable, understandable. But this list, you guys with the community votes, they're all pretty much like where I would put them, to be honest. Buck really good for rotation, really versatile, what is the word? I don't know the word, you know the word. Really good in vertical play. He is the king of verticality. Is that the word? I don't know. But just being able to know that underneath and you can just open up all the floor, and then that it forces the anchors to have to reposition themselves. So as a like Thermite is opening a wall to attack, you have a Buck also attacking from above. They're going to have to reposition, and then it allows the Thermite to move onto site, move forward, as the Buck forces the defenders to reposition. So that's really good. Coming in the 4th spot we have Sledge. Now this is interesting because Sledge and Buck are in the same spot with the same amount of votes. So it's really hard on, I think Sledge is better in terms of rotating around the same floor. So let's say you're on 2nd floor. I think Sledge is better at just rotating around on the same level. But Buck is better in terms of the vertical gameplay. But I think if you're a beginner, I'd say just pick up Sledge and try and play him. But I think overall Buck is probably a more picked operator in the higher ranks. Although Sledge is picked quite a bit, to be honest, in Pro League. But I think Buck overall is just better in terms of vertical gameplay, which is really important in a game like Rainbow Six Siege. So yeah, Buck for vertical, Sledge for horizontal gameplay. Coming in the number 3 spot we have Habana. Now this is I would have put Habana in 2nd and the person in 2nd, put them in 3rd. But I can see why Habana is really this high up. I feel like kind of at this meta, it's really all about hatches. And Habana can just simply open hatch with 1 pellet. She's able to open up 3 hatches. She can also open up walls at a distance, so you don't have to push in, worry about the defenders. You can just sit at a distance and just fire your X-Chaos at the wall and just open it up. And the fact that she is a free speed also makes her better than Thermite. But you know, Thermite has his pros and cons, Habana has pros and cons. But I think overall people prefer Habana, and I do personally. She's my most played operator. Her weapons are really good as well for just fragging. So yeah, she is like she is like a fragger, and also having the ability to hard breach. So Habana is really good. Now coming in at the second spot is Twitch. Now this is a really good choice you guys have made, even though I said I'd put her in the number 3 spot. But Twitch is really good in terms of fragging. Her drone alone anyway, the fact that she can just take out like Jaeger ADS easily, and it's just like her weapon is the best in the game on attack anyway. I'm not sure about, would I say in all of Rainbow? I don't know, that's hard to say, but in attack anyway, Twitch probably has the best fragging weapon. Just being able to rush and then just like mow down enemies with how fast the weapon shoots. And even like her fragging role, like just excuse that, just the fact of her drone alone being able to just put that into sight on prep phase and just being able to take out mirrors and like Jaeger ADS and bandit charges is really big. Like you can do that in prep phase, think about that. And you know, just her weapon alone is really, really good. I don't think there's really else much I could explain. Like I think her main thing is just fragging, which is really good, and I love her. But coming in the number 1 spot, I'm sure you all know because I haven't mentioned her, and she is really good. But what you guys have said to be the best attacker in Rainbow Six Siege is Zofia. Now this is really reasonable. I really love Zofia. I love her weapons, to her gadgets, to everything. She's a 2-2, so that makes her really, really good. Like she's fast enough. She also has 2 breaching rounds, and it's way more silent than Ashes. Like it's pretty much just, you can fire an impact and 2 shootable Grismot mines. So you have 2 impact nades that you can shoot, and 2 elements that you can just shoot, and the fact that you are also able to revive yourself. And she has an ACOG and Ash doesn't. Her AK, well, I like to say AK because it's pretty much an AK. Her weapon is really, really good recoil to hold down long angles. But yeah, her impact's so silent, you can just open up a wall and walk around and they wouldn't even hear it. Droning, you drone with them, it gets destroyed. You can then switch to your Grismot mines, shoot, it doesn't explode, so you know, okay, they're not there. You shoot it in a different room, it explodes, and then you instantly know, okay, they're in that room. She is just really, really good. I can see why she would be in the number 1 spot, but that is pretty much everything for this list. So if you enjoyed, make sure to like. If you would want to see a best defender list ranking from worst to best. So if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you're interested in tips and tricks, I also do that on my channel. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. And that is pretty much everything. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and goodbye.